Back once again, AD on the radio.
Flitter, it's you and the senorita. Whooper blowing up the tweeter, cause it's me up in the speaker. Knocking the mama seat top down like a player. And the sound up in your ears, it is the dopest rhyme sayer. Running game like a cheater, I'm balling like Derek Jeter. Complete on the marathon.
So, anybody that pays attention to super producer to the stars, Barry Funkhauser, on social media might have noticed that this past weekend just gone by, he had an interesting weekend.
I did?
Yeah, you did. There was a picture of you dressed to the nines. There was a picture of you dressed to the nines in Las Vegas with adult actress Jaden Cole. I believe that's her name.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Who was it? Who was in a dress that could only be described as fetching, very, very fetching. And there you were, hanging out with her, arm around her, hand dangerously close to her rather celebrated posterior, hanging out, going on a... you were her traveling companion for that night at the Adult Video News Awards, was it? Is that what happened?
That's safe to say.
That's safe to say. Yeah, it's interesting. And I understand you did this. You were the companion of Jaden Cole to the AVN Awards. With the permission of what can only be described as the coolest girlfriend in the world ever, Canadian Jane. She was all good with it?
She was all good with it. She was a little... She told her work bosses that she was really upset that she had to work while her boyfriend was on a date with a porn star. But, you know...
Oh, can that... Oh...
Coolest chick in the world.
Coolest chick in the world. So I have a couple questions for you about how your evening went, and a couple more questions for you about how it went.
She's listening.
Who, Canadian Jane or Jaden Cole?
We'll see.
Well, that being the case, I thought we'd launch into my line of questions regarding your rather fantastic weekend. Right after we hear comedian Natasha Leggero talk about her boyfriend's female friends, I thought it was apropos.
So my boyfriend really wanted me to meet his friend. He's like, we go to Burning Man together every year. You know, she's so awesome. Turns out she's one of those girls who's like really awesome to men and then a total to women. And so let me just set the stage. So she's this white chick, red dreadlocks. We're in Austin. I'm talking to her. Okay, first of all, she has a tattoo of angel wings on her breastplate. Okay, wrong side. Oh, and her name is Flapjack. And so Flapjack is sitting there holding court, and she starts bragging about dumpster diving. And so I'm assuming she's talking about an art project, you know, because everyone at Burning Man's like, oh, here's my art project, and they just bedazzled a school bus. So I'm like, oh, is this for your art project? And she goes, not for art, for food. Okay, first of all, I love the idea of a stuck-up who dumpster dives. Oh, I'm such a square with my birth certificate and car insurance and unpierced genitals and food I've put in a refrigerator like a real loser.
So let's take a moment to salute the kindness and understanding of Canadian Jane Funkhauser's entirely too hot for him girlfriend. Yay, Canadian Jane, for being understanding. How'd it go when you got home?
Good. I told her all about my Vegas trip, and she said, I wish I would have been there with you.
Yeah.
But we're going to NAB in April, so that's the same, right?
What's NAB?
The National Association of Broadcasters Convention, you know?
Oh, yeah, because,
transmitters and boards and...
That's definitely the same, you know, a bunch of studio rats that never see sunlight
Yeah.
There's tons of hot broadcasting chicks, let me tell you.
I'm saying.
There's not hot broadcasting chicks. Well, that'll be fun. When the gold standard of attractiveness for broadcasting is Wendy Williams. It's and who, by the way, has it going on for a lady that is advancing in years. How old is she now? 55, 60, something like that?
All right.
Something along those lines. And but would you?
Wendy Williams?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Concept 714, our former intern, host of the #1 hip hop podcast on the internet. Wake the Flock Up, which you can download at waketheflockup.net, is here in the studio today. Concept 714, Funkhauser appears to be waffling on the Wendy Williams question. Mm-hmm. What about you? Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? you just think of the Born Again date on there and do a little math.
Well, see, I have an entirely more open mind when I realized that my get-out-of-relationship-free chick was 70, and I still definitely would, Dolly Parton. So now I'm, hey, look, if 40's the new 20 or whatever the hell people are saying now, then maybe, 70 can be the new not disgusting. So there's always that. So concept, yes or no?
If the mood is right, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you don't want an old president, but you want an old lady? Is that what you're saying? Because didn't we talk about old presidents versus fat presidents?
We're just
fat presidents.
Yeah, but if
I
you're
want my president to be fat, though. I want him to be fat with a huge cigar, like a top hat, a monocle. Like I want him to be like presidential. I don't want him singing Al Green up there and start crying. You cannot have the U.S. president cry in front of North Korea and Cuba. Like, come on. You know what I mean? I want my president to be presidential.
Very interesting, and I'm sure we're all really taken with your vision of a future president, but that does not answer the question, yes or no, would you? Which we'll address when we get back. Hey, want to win $1,000? Start off the year right, cash in, win a grand. Listen to Real Radio 104.1 on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Text the keyword you hear to 45495 for your chance to win. New keyword announced each hour. More info at realradio.fm. Let's start the show.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio.
I do what I want, when I want, how I want. Every day you're going and working, running that rat race at that pace in that place. We'll leave a bad taste for anyone, everyone working day after day. So buddy, I gotta say, but there's gotta be a better way, yeah.
So you work hard every single day. You grind away to give the best that you can to the people that matter the most. And when you open that door and get home to your family, you're tired, you're worn out, you've kind of had enough. But on a good day, on most days, I would imagine you're greeted at the door by, I don't know, your wife, your husband, your kids, your dog. You walk through the doors of that home that you work so hard for and the people in it, and somehow, it mitigates the circumstances of the soul-destroying drudgery that you put yourself through every single day to help rotate this world and help make you a productive member of society and put you in a position to take care of the things that matter the most to you. Now, those are mitigating circumstances for the time that you trade for money every single day, without a doubt. How would you feel if you knew that some of the money that you were working so hard to make, you were doing your best to stimulate the economy like you wouldn't believe, and some of that was going to be used to fund terrorism? Well, I mean, look, the concept of our hard-earned tax dollars being used to fund terrorism is not an old one. We've heard a lot about this. Ronald Reagan, I believe, referred to Al-Qaeda as brave freedom fighters. And if you watch the second Rambo movie, which I think was just called Rambo, at the end of it, the whole film is dedicated to the brave rebel freedom fighters that are Al-Qaeda. It's irony like you wouldn't freaking believe. And I'm quite sure we've armed them. We've armed enemies many, many times in the past. But I can't possibly think of an instance where it was more obvious that we were knowingly arming terrorists, that we were knowingly funding terrorists, than it has become in light of John Kerry's recent talk about this deal that we cut with Iran not so long ago. What exactly did he say? How does this affect you? Where is it sending your hard-earned tax dollar? We'll get into that a little later on in the show. Right now, though, let's continue. Let's take a look at the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair, certainly not balanced. Guest read by our former intern, now host of the biggest podcast, the number one hip-hop podcast on the internet, Wake the Flock Up. Welcome to the show, Concept 714. Do we have the Concept 714? There we go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is Concept 714, host of WakeTheFlockUp.net. The number one hip-hop podcast in the world. You are now listening to AD on your radio.
Yeah. Ooh. What? Ooh.
Yes. The rumors are true. I am here. Thanks for having me again, AD.
Thank you so much for being here. And let me just get back to the topic at hand before we launch into the news. Wendy Williams, yes or no?
Yes, I would.
Yes.
I pretended like I thought about it, but the minute you said Wendy Williams, I was like, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. How you doing?
How you doing? I'll show you how I'm doing.
Like, yeah. Well played, sir. Let me ask you this. Have you considered the value that not only are you going to not only are you going to indulge in the physical delights of Wendy Williams, but also this means that afterwards you get to have a I did that with Wendy Williams story, which, is additional mileage in and of itself. So there's always that.
There's a lot of boxes being checked off there, I think.
Yes,
she's
there
tall,
are. Mm-hmm.
Right? She's famous.
I'm sorry, what? There's a lot of what?
Boxes being checked off.
So wait, she's tall. That's a thing for you?
Well,
because Concept, there are many things about you that are... I'm just going to bottom line this. You're not tall, but you like tall chicks?
No, I don't like tall chicks. But that's
okay.
That's why it would be a box. Like you could just go down the list. Tall, famous, rich, black. You could just, well stacked. You could just go down the list and check off all these at once,
Interesting. You enjoy females of the non-Caucasian. That's something that you want to check off on your list.
I enjoy
interesting.
Females.
Enjoy females of all shapes and sizes, even the ones that you'd have to climb like a tree.
It would be worth the trip, I think.
Good.
Thanks for getting the reference, by the way.
Funkhauser, yeah. Swing from her highest branch.
Watch out for that tree.
The summit would be
Whoa, man.
I know, I'm trying to watch myself here.
Whoa. We are not in delay. Warning.
So let me ask you this. Funkhauser, you haven't given us a yay or nay.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't. Wendy Williams, yes or no?
He is devoted to this question.
No.
No?
No. Sorry.
No.
Not really. I can't get behind or in front of that.
Right. Well, it's good of you to say so. And don't think that we've forgotten about...
2 out of 3 ain't bad, though.
Don't forget that we have yet to discuss your I don't think it's fair to call it a date, but I don't think that you're going to skate on this whole thing where you took celebrated adult actress Jaden Cole to the AVN Awards this past weekend just gone by. These are things that mere mortals only dream of. Not only have you been to the AVN Awards, but you did so with one of the most celebrated adult actresses in the world on your arm while dressed in a rather spiffy 3-piece suit. So we want to know exactly what happened this past weekend just gone by, and we will get to it, if not today, later on in the week.
Okay,
I think
sure.
Today is good again.
Fine.
Get to it.
Prepare your best stories, and we'll get to it at some point. Concept, what's going on in the world?
Well,
one story,
quick.
One story. Fox reportedly tried to pay Gillian Anderson half as much as David Duchovny for the reboot of The X-Files.
Yeah. They tried to keep that one secret. Fox didn't want anyone to find out, but the truth is out there.
Like Theo Huxtable, days like this when I feel untouchable. I try and make up for all the wrongs I did by living my life like a Cosby kid, jamming on the one like Theo and Stevie. I know it sounds crazy, but
Like most kids from a privileged white upper-middle-class suburban background, for a significant portion of his childhood, he was pretty convinced he was down. AD on the radio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah. You've been talking about me for
I got a tweet just now from Carmen, who listens to the show, and she informed me and Funkhauser that Wendy Williams is 51 years old. And you know what? I just do a Google image search of Wendy Williams.
I did.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yeah?
I think you definitely would. You say you're not gonna, but I think no. Hey, Funkhauser, I got to be honest with you. She is in significantly better shape than any of us. I'm telling you this. I am telling you this. I don't know what she did. She went out and bought herself a new head. She is stacked like you wouldn't believe. She is ripped. She is toned. And she's only 51. She's not, and which is alarming to find out because she's just been, a fixture of broadcast media for as long as we've been in the game. She's been around for a long time, which means she's been really up in the game for many, many years. Basically, what I'm saying is she was way more successful at our age than we probably ever will be. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say you would both take that back. You would. And Concept, who was a little bit hesitant to begin with, I think he would be. I think he would leap into this situation with gleeful abandon. Let me just.
I guess since you guys are talking about a relic of the past, I'll use this. I'll use this. The hot girl bell from the 80s.
That was alarming.
Sorry, it's covered in dust. See that Concept?
I thought it was the show Wing from Wayne's World. Remember that? No.
Swing.
No.
If she was a president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln. The expression "schwing" came roaring back to me a little while ago because, you remember that. I think it was Trump. He said that I don't know if we can say it on the air. He said it was no big deal. A lot of other people said it was a big deal, but he referred to Hillary Clinton getting There was a piece of vernacular he used to describe what happened to her that has to do with a sexual act, and he was she got blanked this in the last election. I was like, only in the swing states. See what I did there? So I think I've decided to bring swing back. All right, having devoted more than half of the show now to how hot or not Wendy Williams is and deciding that she is alarmingly attractive compared to what the picture that we had in our minds. Let's continue with the news, please. What is going on in the world?
In the news today, it looks like AD would bang Wendy Williams. So that's fascinating.
Like a screen door on a battleship over there. Wow.
In his new song, Macklemore rips into Iggy Azalea for appropriating black culture.
I said, Who did?
Macklemore.
Who did?
Macklemore.
He did? You did?
I did too.
Who knew?
Have you heard the song?
I'm not a fan of Macklemore's music, so I have not heard it.
The song is called "Pleased to Meet You, Pot. My name is Kettle."
Exactly.
I really Macklemore. The world seems to be taken with him.
Yeah.
The hip hop world seems to be taken with him, and I have to say, I enjoy some of his music, and he's definitely worked for it. He's really, really worked for it. He had a #1 record, and it was independent, and it was the first time in a very long time that had ever happened to someone. And he's really kind of been successful on his own terms, and he did a tremendous amount to speak out about some important issues on the last record, and I thought it was a productive thing, and I was happy for his success. But I just kind of feel like he's looking for an issue. I'm an issue-driven guy. Issues will make me, allow me to continue having a career. Same way U2 got tiresome in the late 80s and early 90s. It's just like Bono going
U2 got tiresome. How dare you?
Well, when... It's one of those things where Bono was sitting there going, "Oh-de-diddle-dee-dee. I don't know how to rhyme Nicaragua with anything, but I'm going to give it my best shot." It's just like, at some point, you feel as though it's all been done before. And I think Macklemore got there quicker than the dudes in U2. That said, U2 have done okay, so Macklemore might do fine with this. But unbelievable that he's ripping into people for appropriating black culture. Which, let's be real here, he's done his own version of things. But, who is he to say that Iggy Azalea is sort of a cultural ripoff, and he's not? Where does the line exist? Let's ask our resident hip-hop expert, Concept 714. Does Macklemore have any moral high ground to stand on this issue when going after Iggy Azalea?
They're both white, right? And they're both rappers. So, yeah, very much keto calling black. It doesn't make any sense to me. Macklemore's not that special in any way, like lyrically or performance-wise. He's not that...
Ooh, shots fired.
Well, I'm just saying. Unless you want to be trendy and follow stuff just because it's popular outside of that.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen him live?
Oh. Well, look. You gotta do this, AD.
It's a yes or no question. Have you ever seen him live?
No. And
see, I have not either, but I do have friends that have caught his show and gone like, you know what? I didn't get it before. I absolutely get why he's successful now. That man knows how to put on a show, and that man knows how to play to his audience, and he has a very close bond with that. Where it's, you and I can think what we're going to think, but what really matters is his relationship with his audience in that case. And I've heard he puts on quite the show.
But
so
even 99% of his audience haven't seen him live, right? Not every single person that's Bossy D has seen him live. So what's the percentage that have? 1%? Less than 1%? What about everyone else?
Do I have to get my graphing calculator?
I'm just saying, you have to take into, if you're talking hip hop, you have to take, it's an accumulation. You have to take account of all the steps like performance, lyrics, delivery, topics, substance, and then kind of make educated comment about that. And you can't just say one thing. Because look, Rakim, the godfather of hip hop, is notorious for having bad live shows. Just notorious. That's what he's known for. But he's delivered some of the most groundbreaking hip hop ever delivered. So does that make him a bad artist because he's not good live?
Well, as the old expression goes, everybody's got their something. I suppose. And it depends what you bring to the table. There's all sorts of ways to skin a cat in 2016. What else is happening in the world?
AD does not condone the skinning of cats.
I do not condone the skinning of cats. Go on.
Kristen Cavallari, is that right? Did I get that right? Kristen Cavallari
sounds right.
got into a car accident in Chicago. Chi-town.
Hold on. Kristen Cavallari. Anybody know who she is?
I have no idea.
It's all over the news. Kristen Cavallari, television personality, fashion designer, and actress from Denver, Colorado. Attended Laguna Beach High School.
Getting better.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who she is really or what she does, so I would imagine that she lost control of the wheel while struggling to maintain a grip on her ever-fading relevance. Go on.
Aww. I just lost a listener.
Farrah Abraham.
Bye, Kristen.
is feuding with the Kardashians and Jenner sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Ladies, please.
Ladies, please.
Farrah Abraham follows me on Twitter, by the way. I was like, how the hell did that happen? I was like, this is not the real Farrah Abraham. Oh, look, it's verified. It is. Yeah. But Farrah Abraham is feuding with the Kardashian and Jenner sisters. Ladies, please, allow me. You're all shameless skanks who are making America dumber, more shallow, and skankier by the second. There, it's settled. You're all equally... You are all complicit in the retardation of the progress of society. So,
I don't think you can say that.
There's that. No, you can. You can use it. No. I said retardation of the progress of society. Retardation means to slow down. It comes from classical music, Funkhauser. Like when you're reading sheet music and you're supposed to slow down, there's an expression called retardando, which means to slow. Now, I cannot use that word. Let me explain to you the context in which that happened. I cannot use that word as a derogatory term for people that are differently abled, but I can use it in its proper context when I say that they are all complicit in the retardation of the progress of us as a species.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
No, you're welcome. Go on.
Tom Brady was dejected after the New England Patriots lost to the Denver Broncos yesterday.
Not today.
20-18.
Yeah.
20-18, man.
20-18, so close, so close. And Tom Brady was apparently just all broken up. And then he remembered he was going home to his millions, his mansions, and Gisele Bündchen, and all of a sudden, all smiles again. Go on.
A new study shows that most profits from alcohol industry come from the problem drinkers. What?
Yeah. This is interesting for sure. Like, apparently, the vast majority of the profits that the alcohol industry makes comes from people that have a problem with the firewater, a problem with some sort of alcohol-related problem. Problem drinkers, I think, is how they classify them. And those are the people that the alcohol industry is making the vast majority of their money off of.
Well, return customers.
Yeah. The people that return a little too often. So it's crazy. You're telling me that Jägermeister really doesn't care if they drink responsibly? I find that hard to believe.
Shocking.
Go on.
A 7.1. That's huge. A 7.1 earthquake.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Hit Alaska early yesterday morning.
Alaska.
Yeah.
All the way down there. Can you believe it?
Did you feel it? I felt it.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe that was something else. Oh.
Wendy Williams was over? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So even all the way down there in Alaska, the earthquake we felt all the way up here. Can you believe that?
Yep.
All the way down to Alaska?
I believe Sarah Palin immediately blamed it on Obama. Go on.
3 inmates escaped from a jail in Southern California by cutting through steel bars and using a plumbing tunnel.
This is no joke.
This is actually
That's
crazy.
Fascinating to me.
It's crazy, and people are saying they absolutely had help on the inside, but they straight up El Chapo. They straight up El Chapo their prison situation and just like bailed. Yeah. And they are like, I get how it happens. I get how you get help on the inside if you're El Chapo because clearly you have money and resources. But best I can tell, these guys are sort of three violent no ones actually, and they're saying there's no way that this could have been done without help on the inside. Police have been fanning out trying to catch these guys. I think it happened in Orange County, Santa Ana. The Santa Ana men's something or other.
Yeah, hey, Concept, you been to Santa Ana?
I live maybe 15 minutes away from Santa Ana.
Oh,
yeah, it's my neighbor. It's one of our neighbor
You know these
cities.
guys?
I actually do. They're my. No, I don't know.
You might want to keep an eye out for them because I understand there is a $50,000 reward for anybody that brings in information that leads to their capture.
What do they look like?
There's almost.
Are they wearing those stripes?
How do I best describe this? There's sort of like this. It's almost like an engine.
Very carefully.
There's an engine that searches for things that's connected to an almost superhighway of information that has pictures of them that you can
I have
look
no
at
idea what
if
you're
you
referring
to
to. Are they wearing striped pajamas and like those big balls on the chain on their legs and stuff?
That's definitely what they're wearing.
That's how I imagine.
I don't know. I don't think we really know what it is they're wearing, but we know that they cut through steel bars. They used a plumbing tunnel, and unless something's changed, they are currently on the lam. I believe they're expected to be recaptured right after Sean Penn interviews them for Rolling Stone magazine, though, so we're all good.
Hold on, let me check one thing.
Yes.
Okay, still works.
Yeah, it's very Shankshaw type, right? That's what they meant, like plumbing. That's what they meant.
After you.
That's a long flush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ever since
it's a super long flush.
Ever since these 3 inmates got out through the plumbing system, everyone in Southern California is flushing, then sitting down. Go on.
The website Glassdoor.com has determined the year's best jobs.
Oh, I love and hate that website.
You love and hate it?
I just found it out. Don't Google your career. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, in our case, this is broadcasters. You might as well call it you'regonnatobepoor.com.
Oh,
no! So they determined the year's best jobs?
Yes.
Anybody got this list in front of them?
No.
Podcaster seems to be number 2, which I'm really...
It sure is number 2.
Yeah.
In at number 1, as per usual, topping the list of the year's best jobs, the Oscar stylist in charge of taping down Jennifer Lawrence's boobs. The sound you hear in the background is me filling out my application. We're going to talk about money that John Kerry's decided to give to terrorists next. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Perfect day, sunshine coming my way.
chatter, gushing, chewing the fat, and running off at the mouth. A cacophony of psychobabble and mindless conversations. Now, more AD on the radio.
Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me.
So I don't know if you heard, but this past weekend just gone by, there was a blizzard or something. I figured I would bring you some stats on the very epic nature of this blizzard that happened on the East Coast. Winter Storm Jonas. There were at least 29 deaths because of the storm. Car accidents were the main cause. People having heart attacks while they shoveled snow was second. And carbon monoxide poisoning was third. You know, where you back up into the snow, you're warming up your car, and the snow blocks the tailpipe, and you die. Crazy that that even happens. Have you looked out the window? They're, you know what they're saying? And not that this concerns people that live in Southern California, but they're saying if you're over the age of 55, you shouldn't shovel snow. And it was weird. I've got a friend on the. I've got a friend, some family actually on the East Coast that, like, the guy is over the age of 55 and he was shoveling snow because he's getting ready to sell his house and move to Florida. And it had already happened, but I wanted to, like, text him or message him and be like, hey, that picture you posted on Facebook of you shoveling snow, I know you're about to retire to Florida, but it would be terrible if you died, right? It's like, it's the kind of poetic irony that life seems to throw your way on a regular basis. Like, he was on the edge of retirement, getting ready to sell his home and move down to Florida and enjoy a life like the one Jimmy Buffett describes in his songs. And he died shoveling snow right as he was about to hit retirement. You don't want to do that. But yeah, over the age of 55, because of the cold, apparently it makes you that much more susceptible to heart attacks as you shovel snow. It's crazy. New York City got 26.8 inches, which just missed the all-time record. They got 26.9 back in 2006. And sorry, still thinking about Wendy Williams. And it was also the second largest snowstorm in Washington, D.C. history. Now that we're talking about Wendy Williams, this is going to seem very suggestive. Baltimore got 29.2 inches, which is their all-time record. And this is the first time that New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington all got 18 inches of snow from the same storm. And in West Virginia, they got the most snow anywhere. 40 inches in West Virginia.
That's crazy.
That? 8 times.
And it resulted in a murder too. Did you hear about this?
Isn't that almost 4 feet of water?
Yeah.
Snow.
Snow.
It's a little insane. Yeah, snow.
Frozen water.
It's this is exactly why I never help anyone anymore. Yeah. This is why I don't help anybody ever anymore. Because
this is why?
This is why. No, this is exactly why. Like, I remember, like, once I found a wallet and it had contact information in it, and I returned it to the wallet owner, and they're like, there's $500 in this before. I was like, well, I don't know about your $500, but here's your wallet. And they're like, what'd you do to the $500? And I almost had, like, I was just like, you're going to call the cops on me because I'm doing the right thing? And I was like, man, sucks. Try and do the right thing, and people look at you suspiciously. And pretty much, just this is why I give it the office. This is why I find a charitable organization. If I want to help the common good, I donate, because it's like when you try and do stuff at the scene, it just opens up all sorts of stuff to you like you wouldn't believe. You know, it's just like that homeless guy that you see every single day, and you give him $1, and the one day you don't have $1 for him, he brains you with a brick. This is exactly why I never help anyone. 27-year-old Marvin Lee of Claremont, North Carolina, was driving this past Friday, just gone by, when he spun out on some ice. Now, luckily for him, 3 strangers went, oh my God, this guy's had an accident. He spun out on some ice. We're going to run over. We're going to check on him. And they thought that there might be something wrong with him, so they called the cops to help him. And that is when Marvin freaked out, pulled out a gun, and started shooting at him. One of the bullets hit 26-year-old Jefferson Heavner of Newton, North Carolina, and killed him. Marvin's since been arrested on murder charges. So, yeah, Winter Storm Jonas caused several deaths, one of them via murder. It's crazy, crazy, crazy to think about. It really is. You guys go to Costco much?
I love Costco.
Funk?
Oh, well, I used to date a girl that had a Costco card. And the relationship lasted a little too long because the gas was so cheap there. So, yes and no.
Yeah, sure.
So you stayed with a girl for her Costco card?
That is correct.
Wow.
That is correct.
I love that story.
Yeah.
It was interesting that the gas was what kept you hanging on to an unhealthy relationship for too long. For me,
unhealthy. It was just long distance.
For me, it would have been. It would have been the delicious Costco free samples as outlined by comedian Craig Shoemaker.
You guys have Costco? You know Costco? I eat free food samples to save money. Anybody with me? Who eats a free food sample? Yes. We have no pride. That's free food. That's Costco dim sum as far as I'm concerned. I go back all day long. I'm chowing down. I send my kids in. Get daddy a meatball. I don't care if you don't like meatballs. I've been back 5 times. They're going to recognize me. Get me a meatball. The other day, apparently, I went back too many times, and one would cut me off like I'm a drunk. This Asian woman, she chopping the food. Oh, not you again. Go away. No, you pig. No more meatball. Stabbed me with a fork over a meatball. I wouldn't be denied. I'd double back in disguise. Hello. I wish I was making that up. The people eat the samples. Do you ever have a conversation with the server? You act like you want to know where the food's located in the store to make them feel better? Wow, that was fabulous ravioli. Where do I find that? Oh, frozen food. I'm going to go get some. Yeah, right. I had a pound for free. I ain't buying that Kirkland gut bomb in a bag.
Kirkland gut bomb.
Kirkland gut bomb in a bag. It brings up an interesting point about human nature, though. Unless you have boundaries, people are going to come and take advantage of you every single time. And if you're like me, you kind of feel sort of a lot like we've been taken advantage of recently. Not only by our government, by our elected officials, by the people whose salaries we fund with our tax dollars, but also by a terrorist organization. How so? John Kerry has gone on the record saying that some of the $55 billion in sanction relief that Iran will receive from the nuclear deal will end up in the hands of terrorist groups. He was like, some of your hard-earned tax dollars is going to be going to terrorists as part of this deal. Okay, bye. We'll talk about it next.
You know you better be coming with something that's real to get ahead of me. Cause I'm keeping my record, it's undefeated. And I'm just speaking the facts, I'm not conceited. Cause my skills on the mic, can you play like every day? It's like a weekend warrior in every way. I'm so totally awesome and you totally suck. And if you come in the battle, you're totally out of luck. You'll never get the best of me. You'll never get.
Now, someone who everybody wants to punch in the face. AD on the radio.
So for those that are listening to this show later on in the day, after it originally airs, we don't know how the situation is going to develop, but we do know that workers at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego have been told to shelter in place because of a possible active shooter. According to a written statement from the U.S. Navy, a single witness reported hearing 3 gunshots in the basement of Building 26 at this facility at about 8 a.m. That building is a combination gym and barracks at the medical center. This is really, really all that we know. First responders and Navy dog units were searching Building 26, and the medical center has been locked down as we are reporting this, with all personnel ordered to shelter in place. There were no immediate reports of casualties, though. All gates to the medical center have been closed. And if anything happens to the people that are listening live, we will bring you updates as they come in. Right now, though, let's talk about our tax dollars at work. You know, the pothole at the end of my road, still there, still not fixed. Yet, some of the $55 billion in sanction relief and our tax dollars at work that Iran is going to receive from the nuclear deal are going to end up in the hands of terrorist groups. On CNBC, the Secretary, John Kerry of State, said, "I think that some of the $55 billion will end up in the hands of the IRGC or of other entities, some of which are labeled terrorist." IRGC stands for Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Kerry said that the sanctions of relief money would not make an appreciable difference in the overall budgets of terrorist groups in Iran, linked to Iran. So we can all feel better about that. In addition, he added that the roughly $55 billion Iran's going to receive is a paltry sum compared to the defense budgets of other countries in the region. And let's not forget that Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism at this stage in the game. What can we do about this? Zip, zing, nada, nothing at the moment. But this is something to bear in mind. These are our elected officials. These are people that are appointed to be paid salaries out of our tax dollars. Now, John Kerry doesn't necessarily need the loot. He married the ketchup woman. He's got untold billions. And, if he got fired, would his day-to-day life change all that much? No, and that's depressing. But here's the situation. We are coming up on elections where we get to elect a new president of these United States of America and someone who will, in theory, be leader of the free world. And as you consider option A, B, C, whatever the hell it is, as you think about who you would vote for provided they can snag the nomination, I want you to remember that these are our elected officials. That money that you work so hard for every single day, that you get fantastic sums taken out of your paycheck of, goes to pay these guys' salaries. They should be in our pocket and not the other way around. And who's the answer? Well, that's for you to decide. I can't voice my opinion off onto you. Who's the answer? Do we even have an answer? Do we have anybody we like all that much to where we feel like, at least they're going to put government in check? A lot of people would tell you that Bernie Sanders is a guy for that, and a lot of people would tell you that on the other side of the fence, Ted Cruz is the guy for that. You just don't really know in this stage of the game who's going to snare a nomination and what is going to happen. But bear in mind, when you vote, when you pull that lever for democracy, you are deciding to give the person you're voting for something out of your paycheck every single day. Your blood, your sweat, your tears, your grind, that work that you do every single day to take care of the people that matter the most in your life. A significant chunk of that is going to the person that you pull the lever for. And it's something that you want to continue to consider as we draw ever closer to our next election. Alrighty then. Speaking of the graft that you put in to give the best that you can to those people that do, in fact, matter the most, let's talk about resumes. I have a review coming up sometime in the not-too-distant future. Funkhauser, can we have some resume background music?
Resume background music?
What's
how do
I don't know. You're the super producer to the stars.
Let me just let me see what's going on here.
I think your standard game show bed would probably work.
No, I think
fire up the orchestra.
I got a better thing here.
No,
maybe we can do this. Resume
standard,
time. Write a resume. Come on. Write the resume.
It's almost too
write
standard.
The resume. Write the resume. Write the resume.
I can't. I don't think I can talk about resumes because I will just remember the late 80s.
You're gonna just
and being
pump up
a kid.
The jam the whole time?
Yeah, I will just be pumping up the jam the entire time.
All right, let's have a little meeting here at lunch.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, I wanted to go over the best practices for your resume. If you're seeking new employment in this new year, if you're trying to dust that
Before
thing
you start,
off,
would you like some more water there?
No, I'm good with my coffee. Thank you. Oh, well, maybe for later.
Are we ordering appetizers or?
What about you, Concept? You want some coffee or?
Yeah, I'll have some wine. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Wine at lunch. That's something you might want to leave off your resume. But yes.
The calamari looks good here. Let me see. What do you got?
What, those little octopus things?
Always the calamari.
Yeah.
They taste rubbery.
Maybe the stuffed mushrooms.
It's like deep fried rubber.
Did I valet park? I can't remember.
We're here for resumes, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
let's get back to the meeting at hand.
I'm sorry. I have to take this. Excuse me.
Like I'll go in with you on the mushrooms, but if you're expecting me to pay for some of those calamari, you got another thing coming, my friend.
Have you had them with a squeeze of lemon on top? They're delicious.
Everything's good with a squeeze of lemon
Concept,
on top.
get off
That's
your...
because lemon's yummy.
Get off your Game Boy. We're having a meeting here.
Am I playing Pong? I'm obviously Pong. Oh, what? It switched over to Mario Brothers. Now we can. Super Mario Brothers.
You know what my new favorite expression is, and everybody gets this. When I hear something unfortunate happen to somebody else, or when I hear of something bad happening to someone else, I want to express the fact that I get some sort of pleasure out of their pain. It's not a good thing to take pleasure in, but I do. So there's that. Whenever I tell someone, they're like, "Oh man, this terrible thing happened to me," I go, "Ha ha." I laugh at you like the dog in Nintendo's original Duck Hunt laughs at you when you miss all the ducks. And everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I love that dog.
Yeah. So, I have a review coming up before the end of the week. They do that thing where they let you write your own review, and then you go up to your supervisor, and they're like, "Let me tell you why you're wrong about everything good you said about yourself." So I'm looking forward to that. But
that's one way of
looking at it. If it goes really badly, I might have to dust off the old resume. And here are the most underrated and overrated things to put on your resume. One of the most common New Year's resolutions is getting a new job. And that, of course, means updating the resume. Turns out we've all been doing it wrong. A new survey asks people what they think is important for their resume and asks recruiters and hiring managers what's actually important. Here are the things that we place a lot of value on that are actually kind of sort of worthless. We think it's important to keep it under 2 pages. You know, having volunteering experience, including soft skills like creativity and communication, listing personal interests, and worrying about whether to list your education or experience first. We're trying to keep it succinct. Don't stress about that. That apparently not necessarily a big deal. All those things we worry about, like how much weight to place, and like should I put that I'm a creative? I got good communication skills. I volunteer with animals on the weekend, and that seems superfluous to the needs. They actually want that information. If they like you straight off the bat, they're going to get to it. And here are the things that we don't think are important, but actually are. You want to list all your job titles at the same company. So, like Funkhauser and I have been working for the folks over at iHeartMedia for a long time, and we've all had numerous roles. And we would think that if we just put our most recent one in there, it would speak for itself. But no, they want to know the path that we've been on for the last 5-10 years or what have you.
Concept, I was totally wrong. You should add those back in.
Yeah. See, there you go. Mm-hmm. Listing all your job titles at the same company, that's important. Using industry terms, putting details
even for
about
guys like us have like
15
15 jobs.
Yeah. No, they want to know all the things that we can do. It's a buddy of mine who does something similar to what I do recently got himself like a really kind of high profile interview in another industry, another field, a related but different field. He's a radio guy, and he is pretty much a dead ringer for this job, which is super awesome. Basically doing A&R for a really awesome guitar company. I can't say who, I can't say which one, but they looked at his breadth of experience, and on paper he's just a guy like you or I. But all the things that we now do that are part of being a broadcaster, he included that. He included booking shows. He included dealing with show production. He included some of the technical aspects. He included the fact that he was really good with social media and social media marketing and things like that. And they went, "Wow, we thought you were just a radio guy, but look at all this other crap you can do. Come on over here." And it's an interesting one for sure. So you want to apparently be real about absolutely everything that you have going for you. Yep, true story.
What if you're a magician?
What if you're a magician?
Yeah. Does that be real?
Then I think you should definitely pull everything you possibly can out of your hat or your butt to make you seem as hireable as possible.
I know a good butt magician. If you're
interested. You know a good butt magician.
Yeah,
I think
they're not really rabbit. It's more like gerbil size stuff. But
I think Funkhauser went on a date with a good butt magician this past weekend, just gone by
listen
at the
here,
AVN Awards. And now we're back to one. Funkhauser, how much time do we have left in the show today?
Not enough time to tell you about that.
Are we ordering food or are we not ordering food? Are we just going to talk?
Oh, you guys want some food?
I
just came here with coffee.
I love this atmosphere.
You wanted wine? I got a nice...
The waitress, though, was kind of... I know I've seen her somewhere.
Well, maybe you should look at her instead of playing with your stupid game.
I think I saw her at the AVN Awards with you, dude.
Maybe you did. You probably didn't.
No.
Trust me.
Trust me on this one. The women that Funkhauser takes on dates to AVN Awards do not need a day job. There is no one in his stable of potential female companions that requires a waitressing gig on the side to make ends meet. They are all of the highest. They are all held in the highest regard in that particular industry. Are you sure we don't have time to talk about this, Funkhauser?
I wish we did. I wish we did, but 60 seconds is not.
Let us give us one tidbit of information, and we'll pick it up on the show tomorrow. Give us one highlight.
I was with many kin of a. Let me see. How do I say this? Mom and daughter. How about that hashtag? Mom and daughter.
You spent time at the AVN Awards with a mother-daughter team in the adult entertainment industry. Is this what you're saying?
What?
I guess so.
What?
I guess
oh my! Wow! I didn't know such a thing existed. I would love to find out more, but I guess we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. Are we?
Yeah, boy.
Did you see that white dress?
The one
on my Instagram
that your date was wearing?
Oh yeah. Did you see that white dress?
I really didn't. I don't see colors, but
I like the pearl necklace she was wearing.
She wasn't wearing a.
Scott Briscoe on Twitter pointed out that I said that Wendy Williams was smoking hot, and he said I thought your junk was racist. Now here's the thing: my junk is racist, and I'm not a racist, but my junk likes white chicks. It just does. But here's the thing: Wendy Williams is stacked like you wouldn't believe. That carries a certain amount of weight. She carries a certain amount of weight up top. I find that to be beguiling. And the most important thing to bear in mind is that if you say yes to a Wendy Williams experience, then you have a I was with Wendy Williams story. And you can't place a dollar amount on that, Scott Briscoe. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk more about Funkhauser's experience at the AVN Awards tomorrow. Thank you, Concept. Thank you, Funkhauser. Goodbye.
Times you feel like it's cool to turn the other cheek and give people the benefit of the doubt even when they don't deserve it.